Alright guys, as promised, I'm here to do a quick video. Well, it's not going to be too quick, but a video about multiplication, both the traditional way and then the place value diagrams that we learned about today. So the first way we're going to do it is just the traditional multiplication. So for example, if we had 67 times 53. Okay? We're going to take the ones place, the 3 there, and pass it to both people first, or both places first. So I'll do that one in pink so you can kind of see it. So 3 times 7 is 21. The 2 carries up top, the 1 stays below. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 2 is 20. And remember, it's very important to keep everything lined up in its place value so that you don't make any mistakes that way. We've finished using the 3, so we're going to cross out what we've used so we don't get confused and drop that bomb. Now we can go on to the next part, and that's passing that 5 through the same way we did, because now this is really 50 times 7 and 50 times 60. So that's what that little bomb there helps us do, is keep that in order. So 5 times 7, 35. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 3 is 33. We've used that, so cross out what we've used so we don't get confused. And now both numbers on the bottom there are crossed out, so I know I'm done. So at this point, I can just add. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 5 is 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. And 3 plus a phantom 0 there is 3. So our answer to 67 times 53 is 3,551. Alright, let's do another one of those. If we have, let's say, one of the ones from the homework tonight would be 84 times 19. Okay. Start with the ones place here. 9 times 4 is 36. 3 goes up top, 6 is there. 9 times 8 is 72. Plus 3 is 75. Cross out what we've used so we don't get confused, and drop the bomb. Okay. And then we're going to use our ones place, or excuse me, our tens place. So now really, and this is what that bomb helps us with, it's 10 times 4 and 10 times 80. So that helps us just have to kind of avoid doing that. So 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 8 is 8. Now we add. Oops, I forgot to use a different color. Oh well. 6 plus 0 is 6. 5 plus 4 is 9. 7 plus 8 is 15. So we get 1,596. Alright, and hopefully that's kind of helped with the traditional ways of doing things. Now we'll go on to the place value diagrams. So the first place value diagram I'm going to show is for 72, and these are kind of fun, I like these, times 13. Alright? And with place value diagrams, we need to make sure that we understand what expanded form is, because that's going to help us kind of set this problem up. So 72 in expanded form, well, there's a 7 in the tens place, so it's made up of a 70, and a 2 in the ones place, so 70 plus 2 equals 72 in expanded form there. Now we're going to do times, and now our 13 is made up of a 1 in the tens place, so that's 10, and a 3 in the ones place, so that's 3. And that's going to kind of help us set up our problem. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw that rectangle that we drew today. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, we got our rectangle. We're going to split the bottom part, not so much in half, and then a little section over here. So we have a rectangle with 4 unequal pieces in it. Alright, our 70, or our 72 is going to get written over here. One part of the expanded form is going to go up here, the other part's going to go here. So we're going to write 70 and 2. So 70 is now representing this part here, and this part here. And the 2 is representing this little piece from here to here, this piece from here to here, and this piece from here to here. Alright, and now we're going to do the 10 plus 3. Same idea, just this is going to be the 10, this is going to be the 3. And so again, the 10 represents this to here, that line there, and then that line there, that line there, and then the 3 represents here, here, and here. And that'll make more sense in a second. Alright, the first thing we're going to multiply is for this first box, and again, essentially what we're doing is finding the area of each of these rectangles. It's set us up to do the area now. So we're going to do just this box here, box 1. We're going to do 70 times 10. And using our powers of 10, we can do 7 times 1, which is 7. And then we have 1 0, 2 zeros that we can throw them back, and that's because our decimal point jumps however many zeros there are in the problem for our powers of 10. Alright, second box here, we have 2 times, and then we know that this line, if this line here and this line here are the same size, then that's 10 as well. So 2 times 10, and again, if we didn't know that, we could do 2 times 1 is 2. And that 1 0 means our decimal hops 1 time, so that's 20. So we have 720 so far for those 2 boxes. And then we're going to go over here to box 3. And this is where we started making some mistakes. If we're looking for this line, well, this line here is the same as this line here, right? If I were to go around and label all this, just this box 1 rectangle, 70, 10, 70, 10, right? It's the same length on both sides of the rectangle. So we have 70 times 3. We know that this one's 3. And 7 times 3 is 21. And we have 1 0 here to move our decimal over, so we have 210. Hopefully I haven't lost you yet. And then our last box here, box 4, we have 2, because if this is 2, then this is also 2. So we have 2 times, and if this is 3, this is also 3, so 3. And 2 times 3 is 6. And the last step we have to do, just like in the traditional way, is to add everything together. And again, just like I mentioned in class, I like to write it all in from highest to lowest, just to kind of keep things organized, but it doesn't really matter when we add what order they're in. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 6 is 6. 0 plus 1 plus 2 is 3. And 7 plus 2 is 9. So then that would equal 936, which is, original problem was 72 times 13. And to prove that that works, because we have some people that are a little skeptical, 2 times 3 is 6, 7 times 3 is 21, drop our bomb, cross out what we've used so we don't get confused. 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 7 is 7, and we get 6 plus, and then 2 plus 1 is 3, 7 plus 2, 9. And so since I got to the same answer, I know I'm 99.9% sure that I got it right. If we got different answers, we'd have to go back and figure out where we made a mistake, but both ways work, so whatever way you feel comfortable with is the way you should try solving the problems on tonight's homework. We'll do one more problem here with the tradition or the place value. So I'm going to move that up so we don't really see that anymore. And the next problem we're going to do is 67 times 53. We'll make it a little harder. 67 times 53. And again, the first step we're going to do is turn them into expanded form. So 67 is the same as 60 plus 7, 6 in the tens place, 7 in the ones place, 60 plus 7. And then multiplied by 53, and that's made up of a 50 plus a 3. Alright, we draw a rectangle. And again, it doesn't matter if it's pretty or not, we just need it to serve its purpose. Alright, I'm going to do my 67 over here, so 60 plus 7. If I wanted 67 up here, it doesn't really matter, and 53 over here, it doesn't matter, as long as the 60 and the 7 stay together and the 50 and the 3 stay together in the right order. And then 53, 50 plus 3, and then we're just going to multiply. So area of box 1, we have 60 times 50, and power 10 rule, 6 times 5 is 30. We have 2 zeros to add, or move our decimal 2 to the right because we're multiplying. So we have 3,000. That's a big one. Then box 2 here, right? We have 7 times, this line we know is also 50. Power of 10 rule, 5 times 7 is 35. We have 1 0, so 350. And hopefully I'm not going too fast, but if I am, you can pause it and rewind it and all that good stuff. And then box 3, we have 3. We see that one there. And then this line here, well, if this line is the same as this line, we know it's 60. Powers of 10 again because it ends in a 0. 6 times 3, 18. 1 0, throw it on back, 180. And really we're not throwing it on back, we're taking that decimal that's at the end and we move it over however many zeros are in that problem. And then the last box here, we have 3 times 7, and 3 times 7 is 21. And our last step is to add it all together. 3,000 plus 350, 180, and 21. And we add it all together. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 is 1. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 5 is 15. 3 plus 1 plus 1 is the same as 3 plus 2, so that's 5. And 3 plus nothing is 3. So our answer to 67 times 53 is 3,551. And again, to prove it, we can do the traditional method and do 67 times 53. And 3 times 7, 21. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 2 is 20. Cross out what we've used so you don't get confused. Drop the bomb. Now we pass that 5 through. 5 times 7, 35. 5 times 6, 30, plus 3 is 33. And we add it together. 1 plus 0, 1. 0 plus 5, 5. 2 plus 3, 5. And 3 plus nothing is 3. So again, we got to the same answer, so we know both ways work because they are equal. Hopefully that helped. If not, I'll be in here tomorrow at recess, or you can send me a message and we'll figure it out. Hope that helped. See you guys tomorrow.